In May 2011, 9 novice explorers embarked on the second leg of the world's first unsupported trek along Namibia's Skeleton Coast. Known by Bushmen as the land God made in anger, this is one of the few coastal deserts in the world. The Namib boasts some of the highest dunes on the planet, and at 130 million years, it's also the oldest. This stretch of coastline has claimed many ships over the centuries and was nicknamed the Gates of Hell in the 1400s by Portuguese sailors.
Hi Sam! Steph, how are you doing? Nice to meet you.
The expedition was led by myself, Sam McConnell, and team assistant Johan Iverson, and filmed by Claire Murphy. The group came from the UK and the US and did not know each other. So as well as the mighty test of strength and endurance, it would also be a challenge to quickly gel as a team. Day 1. We started our epic journey very early on the 19th of May 2011.
Right, off to do the Skeleton Coast!
Do your special pirate stretch suit. Arr! Arr! A few last minute minor adjustments and on with the packs.
Keep your eyes open, look after each other, and be aware of your surroundings. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is amazing. It's hard to imagine that I will be doing this for the next 18 days. It's going to be an absolutely incredible journey. I'm going to retire end of August, just before my 68th birthday. So this is a good way to go out with a bang, so to speak.
This is such an incredible place. You can see for miles and miles, and there's just no sign of civilization, and just us. Desert and sea. Wow.
The route would take us from Terence Bay to the Angola border, a journey of over 300 kilometres, where we would be picked up by the rendezvous vehicle. But for the next 18 days, we will be completely unsupported by the outside world.
My name is Johan Ivarsson. I'm coming from the northwestern parts of Sweden, and I'm here as an assistant leader, which of course is a huge opportunity, and one of my best strengths is that I'm so stubborn. I can just keep going and going if I have to, and I think that's going to be the most important thing during this expedition, because everything is going to hurt, and you just need to set your mind to get going and just do it.
Oh. Only done about 6.5 miles now, so we still need to go a bit further before lunch. Really, it would be great if we could make 10. Just kind of need to get a bit more in the flow.
Just did the first 10 miles of the expedition, and stopping now to have a lunch. It's been a long first half day. Everyone is a bit sore and worn. I think the reality is kicking in, what we're actually out doing, but time for some lunch, and I'm sure the spirits will kick up again.
It's good to feel the 10 miles. My feet are killing me, but I'm having a great time.
My pack is rubbing and made my hips swollen. It's not supposed to be swollen. So, since I don't have those baby pushing hips, it slides off pretty easily.
The women are to carry 28 kilograms and the men 35. They contain everything we need for our trek: tents, medical supplies, and all our freeze-dried rations.
So I had chili con carne.
Veggie option, Wild West chili and beans. It was really tasty, but
In a few days, well, I think we'll be able to.
yeah, I'm sure as it goes on, I'll quite happily trough my own meals all the whole way.
To carry all the water that will be needed for this expedition is impossible, so we will be using pioneering desalination equipment designed to turn seawater into drinking water.
So this just shows how slowly the water actually comes through. So we have to pump 10 litres of saline to get 1 litre of fresh water. So unfortunately, slow and steady is the way.
To produce the X gallons of water needed for each day's walking, we will have to draw from the freezing ocean and pump it for at least 5 hours to make enough for the following day. The more we consume, the longer it will take, and the heavier it will be to carry.
It's amazing how often this desert changes and how it looks.
I can see why they called it the land that God made an anchor. It looks almost Martian. I think it's only now that the enormity of what we're taking on is sinking in.
Basically came to the point of no return. I mean, this is where the tracks and the 4x4 tracks just won't go any further, so we're off to no man's land from here.
How many days left? Are we there yet?
Well, we're nearly 6% of the way through.
6%?
That was quite a lot when you think of it like that, doesn't it?
That's depressing, 6%.
Oh, is it? All right, I won't say that one again.
I hate short numbers like that.
At 5 PM I call time and we set up the camp for the night.
Well, for day one, it's been fantastic actually. Our new pumping system seems to be doing well. We're getting the girls getting it set up here. As you see, we found a very nice sheltered spot. We haven't quite done the mileage we were hoping to do today, but we're not far off it actually, and for first day it's a bloody good effort, so I'm happy as Larry.
I feel tired, but not too bad. I'll tell you in the morning, tomorrow's the tester.
Yeah. My big toes feel weird. It'll be interesting to see how tomorrow goes. And then we'll see.
Liking the attitudes here. Just roll on tomorrow. That's what everyone's saying.
Well,
ignore today, it's done.
Yeah.
Almost.
The difficult thing about today was the walk because my feet were just killing me, but it's one of the things I'm learning to live with it, so it's okay. No, I am not complaining at all. Okay, lift those up for me, please, gents.
I'm sleeping with these two tonight.
I'm not a terrible
These
snorer.
two are terrible snorers and I'm sleeping in the middle of them tonight.
Woohoo! As we start the night pumping shift, disaster strikes.
What just happened? It collapsed. Our trekking poles and our contraption that we made collapsed. The Velcro that we use, I guess, we didn't brace them properly.
And then all the water that was collected and put into these bags just got lost. So we're going to have to go back and get some more.
With day one done, and despite a bit of spilt water, I'm pleased with the team's efforts.
Catastrophe avoided. Yeah. For the moment.
Distance covered today, 14 miles. Not bad. But I'm aware that we have an awful long way to go.
Just completed day one, which is such a good feeling. I think I was a little bit surprised at quite how much work there was going to be to do once we'd actually finished walking.
Day one, we were sort of learning roles and settling into it. I think providing people's sort of feet and shoulders hold up should be alright.
It's only day one and I really struggled today, mainly due to back problems with the rucksack.
Diagnostic checks on self show some very sore feet. Just generally my feet just feel like they're just taking a pounding.
A bit worried about tomorrow. I hope I can sort out the pack and it'll go better. Yeah, tackle it all again tomorrow. How are you this morning?
Very good. What time is it? Oh, it's 10 past 5. Day 2.
Tell us about the first night.
Nothing like spooning with two sweaty men. Let's just say that.
Bit sweaty. Woke up quite a few times.
Not a huge amount of space.
There's not a huge amount of space.
Sleeping with this man and that man.
That guy right
Both
there,
of them
yeah.
sweating like pigs.
Yeah. And somebody else was noisy, not only snoring, I must say.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The earplugs that I borrowed
works wonders, because I didn't hear either of these two last
I wonder
night.
why you weren't moving at all.
That's good about the earplugs, you know, maybe you get another plug on the other end, we wouldn't hear you. I want to go home. Day 2, on our way.
My name's Jo Binns and I come from Devon and then went to study sports science at the University of Bath. And during that time I was selected to become a member of the senior England netball squad and then worked for the past 3 years as a regional netball coach for England netball. So I have never done anything like this before. Certainly I enjoy being outside and like to do sort of adventurous activities, but nothing compares to the Skeleton Coast.
This is Stephanie Curry and I'm from Big Valley, California, United States. I decided to join the Army, serve my country, and did that for the past 6.5 years, and I just got out a week before this expedition. I'm still trying to learn. I think it's going to take a long time, but learn how to be a civilian again.
Do you see this kind of expedition almost as a kind of nice transition between army life and civilian life?
Yeah, looking at this, I don't think this expedition could have come at a better time. It definitely is a nice transitional piece. Fortunately, I have to take it out on you all.
At lunch, some of us discover that it's not just our feet we have to worry about.
The thing I'm most worried about right now is actually it all went down my boot. It's my foot. It's soaking wet.
The soles have delaminated from the boot, which could be potentially disastrous. Fix them now before they get any worse. Whole sole drops off. Seeing if I can staple it together with hypodermics and glue it. So I don't think I'm going to be using that on anybody on this trip. I've got matching boots now.
The team have consumed a lot of water today, and keen to not spend all night pumping seawater for tomorrow, Sarah decides to try to calculate exactly how much they're going to need.
So what we'll do is, as we go around each person and you say, right, you ask this amount of litres of water, then you check it, and then if we get, it will only be like a couple of litres out, it won't be loads out.
Probably, with the food, probably 4 litres. Probably about a litre probably.
I think it's beginning to dawn on everybody how much time and effort we're going to be spending on something we all take for granted.
So this is direct, day 2. Today I was nominated to lead the expedition.
So I've got blisters already, and as a result I was tagging about 100 and 150 metres behind the group most of the day, which I hate doing. I
found it hard keeping the pace slow for the other people. Got frustrated a few times with the level of fitness of certain members, but that's all part and parcel of it. You've got to understand that other people might not be as long-legged as me.
So now we get ready to start another day on the Skeleton Coast.
The doctor is in. Emma has 2 bleeding stumps that used to be feet. And what we're going to try and do is bandage them up a bit so that we don't leave a trail of blood down the beach.
Sam's very kindly attending to my blisters. He's being very gentle, but hopefully it looks as though I'll be up and running in no time.
It's going to hurt like buggering to start off with, but trust me, if you can keep going, pain will stop. Eventually your pain receptors just give up. They just stop working. They say, right, I'm getting bored of that. Right, Emma, you're done.
Thank you, doctor.
My day as a leader today, so we're going to be leaving in now 3 minutes, folks. And then we're going to head off north and we're going to take a stroll in the park. That's what I told my colleagues I was going to do. So we're hoping to keep a steady pace and just make up a little bit of the lost time that we had yesterday. So it's going to be a beautiful day.
I'm Stuart Lee, I'm 34 years old, live in Yorkshire with my wife and 3-year-old son Wilfred. I work in an office, which is quite different to this environment. I've never really done any expedition adventuring before. I think I'm probably the luckiest so far in the terms of got no injuries. Well, blood blister, but really nothing to worry about considering other people's feet seem to be destroyed completely.
Maybe Stuart has beginner's luck, because when we reach the end of day 3, Mac, who is 59 and the oldest member of the team, discovers his feet are in a terrible state.
I'm losing 3 toenails. Can you see this? I got another one here on my toe. I didn't know it was bad until I saw the blood in the sand. This is stupid. This shouldn't happen to me. I've hiked miles and miles up and down the mountains and carrying, and I've never had a blister. Must be the boots. Something like that. Can't be anything wrong with me.
Those we might save. Bullet wounds, no problems. No, snake bite, no. Nails, horrible.
This is nothing. I'm doing this to raise money for MS plus have a good time. What people with MS go through is nothing compared to this. I feel I'm lucky, so I can't complain. So all you gotta do is look at it and say, it's a pain. Take a big step and say, grin, say, you know, think how lucky you are to be here. Seriously. I mean, look at this. You're one of 11 people doing something that's never been done before. How lucky is that? Huh?
True, I have to keep reminding myself.
Remind yourself of that. That's what I do. I say, look, this is nothing. Actually, I think it's pretty funny. You know that? You think we really good?
You got a funny sense of humor.
I'm probably one of the first people that's done this, right? It's like another first. Lose your 3 toenails on the Skeleton Coast.
Mac's the hardest man in the world. He just sort of turns around and goes, oh yeah, oh, some of my nails are falling off. And just got on with it.
I'll put a plaster on it, that'll be fine.
It's not like we've got to do anything today.
No, I'm only walking 15 miles across the desert with 35 kilograms on my back.
Mac's the oldest here and he's the hardest man, that's all I've got to say. He's a legend.
For him to be leading the group all day is pretty amazing. I feel a bit ashamed really, dragging behind like that with just blisters on my backs, my heels. He's a tough one, I'll tell you.
I feel like a new man. Bandages on my toes. I'm in great shape today.
Today is day 4. I'm team leader and it's 5:40. Maybe try and make up a little bit of the mileage that we're behind today. So big push this morning. Big push.
Amazing sunrise this morning. Rather nice, and loads of stars last night. And that's why I'm here.
Not a cloud in the sky today, so we're at the full mercy of the equatorial sun. By mid-morning it's 30 degrees, but feels considerably hotter due to the rocky terrain reflecting the heat.
So that's Moray Bay, that's the last outpost of civilization. That's it, we're now completely clear to do the rest of the trek.
It will be 15 days before we see civilization again.
Those days that you just makes you especially glad that you made all this effort to come. Really, you know, beginning to properly enjoy it, I think. And less endure it, more enjoy it.
Today has most definitely been the most rewarding of all the days. We've actually managed to stop for lunch, having completed our target 10 miles in the morning. It was so satisfying.
But hitting our target has come at a cost. Emma is really struggling with her left leg, so Johan hangs back with her to keep her spirits up.
Oh.
They're still a little funny looking, but seem to be holding well.
Every time I put my foot down, it's like a searing pain with my leg. I can't put it down.
The pace was fine until the last sort of mile or so when I sort of hit my exhaustion barrier. But I'm fine now, that's the thing. You know, as soon as we stop, I feel fine.
So today is pretty good. It was a lot of fun, actually. I really enjoyed myself. Felt like I was marching some troops again or something. It was good. It was good.
Done better today. Got some. Well, I think it's the first day we actually made our mileage, but I think there are a few minor issues starting to arise in the group.
The main reason I'm in here is because things are breaking down slowly. We've got a weakness in the team, a real weakness. But I thought it would improve after the last situation. It hasn't. It's getting worse.
A few people can keep up, but then, you know, they go too fast and it exhausts everybody else, and it's just kind of a mess. But had a talk with Sam, and I guess we're in some shit because we're so behind now that on the map, if we do our designated 15 miles, we're going to end up smack in the middle of this massive river, teeming with lions.
This is an expedition. Just got to buckle.
It's a foggy start to day 5, and we have some new additions to the team. A pod of bottlenose dolphins follow us along the coastline for about 1 kilometre. And then we stumble across our only shipwreck so far.
So this is really exciting. It's pretty early in the morning and we're just coming up to our first shipwreck.
Arr! Here be pirates.
Not far on from here, I was hoping we may come across the remains of the famous Dune Sea, a cargo boat that ran aground in 1942. It was carrying World War II supplies and passengers from Liverpool to South Africa.
Well, this is the coordinates I was given for the Dune Sea. I mean, there's some wreckage around, planks, and as far as the actual ship itself, it's either completely broken up, disappeared, or it's buried under the sand.
We pass by a huge floodplain by the Harrison River, where we find wrecks of a more modern kind.
There's a couple of trucks stuck here, big time, probably mining trucks, in the salt pan, which is one thing you should never do, is drive on a salt pan. So be careful here, because obviously with water comes game. When game comes, predators, so we're going to walk through single file, nice and quiet, and pop out the other side rapidly, I hope.
We've got to get 17, 18 miles into today to get past possible lions, hyenas, etc. Not a nice place to be. So people pushing on, doing about 2.5 miles an hour, which is good pace. We'll keep it up all day. Everybody's starting to realise it's an expedition, not a holiday.
People are joking with me, saying it's spectacular today. Every time I say something, they say they're fantastic, spectacular, but it is. It's just an incredible opportunity to be here. So I'm having so much fun.
Today's been a nightmare. Struggling with it a bit today, and I was a bit stupid last night and forgot to put one of my bladder bottle things out for water, so whereas everyone else started off with 4 litres, I had like less than 2. So my own fault, but obviously it's not ideal.
We've done 17.3 miles today, which is outstanding. So we're now only about 2.7 miles behind schedule. So another day like this, we'll be back on track.
Day 7, and it's been a cold night.
Probably the coldest night we've had last night. Very, very windy, so it's quite noisy, but once I was asleep it was fine.
It feels even colder as a ferocious wind whips up from the south, and with no dunes for shelter, we are sandblasted to smithereens.
Bottle change!
Another fantastic afternoon pumping. But what you're probably not seeing quite as well is the sand lash.
Although it may look like a beautiful summer day on the beach, what you're not experiencing is the blast of sand going in your face constantly at this level, straight into your face. You can't see what you're doing, it's in your mouth, it's on your shorts, it's everywhere.
Move it, people! Arr! Arr!
We put our heads down and managed to clock up 10 miles by midday.
How are you feeling today, Gary?
Fair to middling.
Gary's feeling fair to middling. And how are you feeling today, Matt?
Spectacular.
Spectacular. There you see are the cultural differences between the two great nations of America and Yorkshire. Basically, me and Gary explained to Matt that everything great in the world comes from Yorkshire. Which it clearly does, doesn't it, Matt?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. To be honest, it's just like going for a walk at Whitby or Scarborough, where you find the best beaches in the world. Mac from California will try and say that the beaches in California are better than Yorkshire, but he's clearly mistaken.
This is for sand protection.
It's so windy outside. It was such a mission to get this tent up, and we're now in the calmness of the tent, enjoying a picnic. I have tuna just to mix up my diet.
And every time Portland moves, I go like this.
She's fighting vainly against the sand, trying every 2 minutes to clear it out of the tent. We tried to tell her she's facing a losing battle.
Yeah. I'm almost giving up.
That is my left baby toe, which doesn't resemble much like a toe right now.
This is my tent companion, Jo, who has just shown me her feet tonight, which has become a bit of a ritual, and she has just spurted her blister on her right foot again.
And then
Jo, tissue.
It's really bad.
Probably in any other circumstances this would be quite sort of unnormal.
Oh dear.
On day 8 we managed to cover another 15 miles. But everyone now is nursing war wounds, and I'm starting to sense that fatigue is beginning to set in.
We're just trying to determine if we've got enough water from this morning left over for lunch. Fingers crossed we do, because the sea is about 500 metres walk that way.
Some people seem to be using up their water supplies quicker than others, making Gary feel frustrated.
You drank a litre in 6 hours, but you're still saying you need a litre for the next 2 hours.
I'm saying I'd like to have it in case it gets warmer and I need to drink more. But then if I don't drink it, there'll be less to pump tonight, won't it? Hey, I suggested that earlier.
If it makes it easier and we move on and we get to Camp early and we're not pumping in the dark, drink all the water.
Is this all you have left?
So it probably is just enough for lunch, yeah.
I think if we don't have to pump water at lunchtime, it's extremely advantageous because we can get done quicker. That's an impartial answer where I don't give an answer. Should be a politician.
Yeah. But you said you sweat, you're sweating it out, but I'm peeing it out. Well, if you're peeing it out, that's obviously wasting it. If I'm sweating it out, I've got the right balance. If you're going for a pee every hour, you're drinking too much.
I'm happy. I don't really care.
Today was my turn leading the group. and I was really chuffed. We made really good time in the morning. We managed to fit in about 10-11 miles before we stopped for lunch, so we only had 4 to go. It's now 5:15 and we've pretty much finished the pumping for the day, which means everyone can have some, you know, they're not pumping in the dark when it's cold, and they get their food. I'm starting to get a sense of achievement, which is really exciting.
People are a lot stronger now, a lot less inclined to give up. The weak link that I talked about earlier on has really improved. She pushed through the pain. She's done a lot better. I'm really impressed with the way she's moving along.
This morning, Stuart left camp early. He's hugely relieved as nature has finally called.
I've had my first movement for 6 days. It was a magnificent experience. If Mac was there looking at it, he would have probably said spectacular. Oh, I feel like a new man. Look, look!
We're officially halfway, and to mark the occasion we are greeted by a massive colony of Cape fur seals. They lie slick and brown like freshly licked cigars, stretching a whole kilometre along the beach.
Quite often it's so crowded on the rocks there that the babies get squashed flat by the adults, and you have the big bulls that sit on the surf line protecting their harem behind them, and then you have the outcast males on the outskirts trying to come in and fight these big things so they can mate. What we don't want to do is get in between the seals and the sea, because they get stressed out and they've a very vicious set of teeth on them, and you don't want to get bitten by them.
One bite could prove fatal, so it wasn't safe to camp nearby, so we have to cautiously navigate past them.
We found our camp spot for the night. It's a bit exposed. We've walked 15.5 miles, so half a mile more than we wanted to, but there was a massive seal colony back there and we didn't really want to spend the night sleeping with sea lions, so it's been a tough day. Still got to pump some water, but we've made it through, so another day done. Woohoo! Morning!
Good morning, camera.
Not a day in paradise, eh?
Day 10. Double figures.
I have woken up and been completely astounded by the state of my foot. My blister looks incredibly good. I've done some brilliant taping, and I have to say, I may be speaking too soon, but right now my left toe is actually pain-free for the first time in quite a few days. What a brilliant start to day 10.
As we cross the lunar landscape, Emma is stopped in her tracks. Her leg injury has flared up again.
Is it here or is it on the side?
It's like right here.
So this whole part. Okay.
It's just like I'm really shooting.
Right, what I'm
agonizing
going to
pain
do
whenever I
is,
put my foot.
we're just going to bandage Emma's leg up because she's suffering from something like shin splints, which is probably she's stretched a tendon down the front of the leg, the knee to the foot. So we're just going to put some support on it. Right. Promise it's just going to take a while to warm up and get going, yeah. Is that any better?
That's good.
Yeah?
I have to admit, you know, I was thinking, am I going to make it? And I was really thinking about quitting. Stam stepped in gave me some sort of a psychological boost, and it's really helped me to look that bit deeper inside myself and find reserves of strength.
Decided to take a half day here so people will recuperate with injuries. It's a nice spot, well protected, close to the water. So we're going to set up camp here and enjoy a bit of sun.
That night I call a team meeting. It's time to give them a map update on distance travelled and my plans to take us inland.
We've covered about 160, 170 miles so far. So we have this distance to cover, but we can't walk next to the river. As you can see here, the contours are really stacked up close to each other, so this is very steep. A, it's too rocky, and B, we're not walking, getting to a blind end and having to either walk back or walk up a very steep cliff or whatever. Yeah. And our RV point is about here somewhere, yeah? So we'd be cutting across.
And the idea on the 18th is to get there. What kind of time have you agreed with them at the moment, or any time, or just
late afternoon?
Right. Okay.
We start running behind, for whatever reason, we're going to have to start pulling long days again. Yeah.
We have 15.5 miles to go today, so it's not going to be a real easy day, but I really think it's important for those of us who like to walk fast to slow down, and those of us who like to walk slower to speed up, so we can all stay together, because this is really what I think we should be doing. Okay, everybody, let's saddle up and head out.
A short while after setting off, we spot a brown hyena scavenging at the water's edge.
We saw a hyena this morning, which is really good. Don't look dangerous at all, they look, because the short back legs look rather stupid animals, but they're one of the best predators around, so you've got to be wary when you see them.
Today, day number 11 went actually pretty well. All in all, today we made 14.9 miles. When we got here, we started pumping, started to set it up and pumping at 3:30. It's now 20 minutes after 5, and we're pretty close to being done. So I think all in all, it's been a good day. We're going to have another good day tomorrow, and every day on the Skeleton Coast has been a great day.
After setting up camp, Claire, our camerawoman, pulls from her rucksack a handful of letters for the team.
Oh my goodness.
No, bloody Nora. Do you want to see me cry?
Oh, it's what I saw.
They are from partners, friends and family, hopefully a welcome boost for our morale.
Dear Daddy, I hope you like my owl. Keep going, love you lots and lots, Wilfred. You will notice that is the finest owl ever drawn. Dearest Stuart, there has never been any doubt in my mind that what you have chosen to undertake will be the most challenging thing for you physically, mentally and emotionally in your life so far. You are amazing, I am so very proud of you. Bet you are sweating like I can't say that word, and have stinky feet. Now moving on to more important matters. Have you kept him safe? I'm not sure I should read this bit. I hope the pants were worth the dosh, because I'm very much looking forward to making babies with an explorer. Arrgh. All our love and wishing you home safely. Smithy, that's Rebecca, my wife, and Wilfred. Oh, that's nice.
Oh my. Oh, it's my family! If this task were easy, then others would have done it before you. You have the opportunity to complete a world first, to write history, not to read it. Remember, the more you put into life, the more you get out of it. So just get on and do it. Love, Mum and Dad. That's amazing. This makes me really happy to read this. It's certainly not making me sad.
It's from my mum, and it says, my darling, you're a wonderful and amazing person.
of whom I am so proud. I've been told that this expedition will take you to new heights and deep troughs in emotion and test your physical endurance to a level of which you had no comprehension. You're one of the strongest people I know. Not at the moment. And whilst it sometimes seems so overwhelming, painful and terrifying, you are able to do it, and with such grace, a positive attitude, and with that beaming smile. But this just gives me like a really good boost for like the last push, so thank you everybody.
The team are starting to suffer from exhaustion and mistakes are being made. During the night, vital equipment has been broken.
Someone's knocked over one of the stoves, which is basically, we can't use it now, so we're down to 2 stoves. So nobody's getting fatigued and tired, but we've got to be careful with everything. Lose another one, we're in serious trouble. We've only got 1 stove for all of us. So let's just be careful with the kit and just keep an eye on everything.
Not only does this mean we can't use the stove, we will still have to carry this now useless and heavy piece of equipment all the way to the end. This will be our final day walking along the coast before heading inland.
Look what we've come across. This is huge. This is part of the spine and it stretches for about 20 metres.
These are the remains of a huge whale skeleton.
A great find.
After 11.5 miles down the coast, we encounter an unexpected diamond mine area. Trespassing here could lead us to severe consequences, and we will need to take a detour around it.
Rather than, risking $100,000 Namibian dollar fine or 2 years in prison or both.
I decide to break for the day, and we will make the detour in the morning.
I just want you to know how proud of you I am for going on this adventure and having the opportunity to discover a new place and most likely a new part of you that has been stashed away somewhere in there. There's such a small percentage of the world that actually gets to live out a dream, or even one of them for that matter. But no matter what, I am right here and will be your cheerleader and supporter. Jason, I would love to see you in a cheerleader outfit. I think that's going to be Halloween this year. Sweetness. Thanks, Andrew.
It's writing on behalf of all family and friends, especially this paragraph, so stay safe and keep putting one, hopefully not 2 blistered foot in front of the other. And on the other side there's a picture of me in a drunken state with a load of my rugby mates. Very cool.
My initial and gut reaction was I really don't think you need a letter of support. I've no doubt that you have the ability to complete this walk. You're willing to take risks and you have done so many times. And things are always working out in your favour. You always land on your feet, a cat with 9 lives, which is quite true. You're a stubborn and determined person who will persevere, will push yourself to the edge and get to where you want to go. But you'll get there. Probably before everyone else does. Remember, you only live once, so don't waste time by losing faith in yourself. Remember, where your mind goes, your body will follow. Yeah, he's a good lad, isn't he?
Who's Nick?
He's the best mate. Known him for 24 years.
This is our first morning that we've just left the Skeleton Coast. We are skirting round this diamond mine. We're not allowed to go through it for really obvious reasons. I wanted just to explain about the camera. Tried everything possibly could. However, all you can see is black through the viewfinder screen, so the rest of this documentary is being filmed on this little kind of lipstick camera, so should be interesting.
As we hit the dunes, Steph spots up ahead a lone man who she thinks has been following us.
What's happening, Steph?
Well, there's some guy that's been spying on us ever since we riled up the dogs on the Angola border. He's been chasing us on a quad. He's on top of a dune, and I think he just shouted at Sam, so Sam's gonna try and go be a diplomat. And looks a little freaky though. He's walking pretty intently.
Yeah.
Luckily for us, the mystery man turns out to come from the diamond mine unit. He was just curious to find out why a bunch of sunburnt foreigners were wandering through the dunes.
We have not seen many people.
Yeah.
Was Gerson from Namibia De Beers, Namdeb, from the mine over there. He was just coming, well, to say hello, but also he thought we were taken the wrong way to get to the Kunene Mund, the mouth of the Kunene. Anyway, it's a very jolly chap.
Do you think he gets many visitors?
I doubt it. I suspect he's the caretaker. He's probably there all on his own.
Bye.
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 How's it going, Catherine?
Hot. Slightly burnt wrist, so I've got my trouser legs on my arms to try and keep the sun off them. I look like a freak, I've already been told, but I don't really care.
Later that day, as we near the Kunene River, I start to feel the pain in my left leg get worse. It's something I've had before, and I'm praying it's not going to become a problem. The last thing the team need is a lame team leader.
It is extremely hot, and people are starting to run out of water. So we are heading off the sand dunes now, and we are going down to the river.
I can see the first running fresh water we've seen for 16 days, and it's making me feel extremely thirsty. I would love to jump in and have a swim, but obviously the danger of that is I could get eaten by a crocodile, so it's a toss-up really if I'm going to do it or not.
For the first time in over 2 weeks, we can all wash and wallow in as much water as we want.
Oh, that feels so good.
Spectacular. The rest is sandy.
What a wonderful feeling. Oh, I could sit in here for hours. We chose to do it not because it was easy,
but because it was hard.
hard.
We chose to do this expedition. We wanted to do it because it's a world's first, right? This is where the boys from the men, the girls from the women, this is where you step the fuck up. This is where you put it all in. Because we like hard shit. We don't like fucking boring stuff. That's why we're here. So, no slacking.
Rousing sentiments indeed from our ex-army gal, but Johan is feeling less gung-ho. He's in charge of planning our next few days' trekking to get us to the rendezvous point in time to meet our pickup truck.
So what are you doing, Johan?
Just double checking on the map where the RV is. We've got 2 full days across the dunes to get to the RV point. It's just a long way to go, and especially in these dunes and the heat that we've experienced today.
With only a few hours of daylight left, we have no time to lose and head into the desert. We step like tightrope walkers along the ridge lines. It's breathtaking, but also backbreaking.
Baby Cyrus.
Yeah. I'm trying not to think about it, madam.
Oh, we're going down the dunes, which I don't like, but we're going to bounce down like this. Oh, like a springbok I am on the sand. How's it feeling now we're up here?
Brilliant now we're here. Earlier in the day was not quite so brilliant. It was significantly hotter. I was significantly more tired and kind of unable to take a look around and see where exactly we are, whereas now it's absolutely spectacular.
I can't believe that we were by the sea this morning and now I've never felt as isolated as this. Like we've just surrounded by the most incredible view of dunes.
It's just absolutely fantastic. It's spectacular. I cannot say enough about this trip. I am so ecstatic. It's just, hey, there's a new word for you, Joe. Ecstatic.
There we go, yeah. This is why we're all here. Exactly why we're all here.
Aww, let's put a photo. Having been handed this letter, it means you're having a bit of a tough time. Aww, well, you've only got yourself to blame. Seriously though, don't ever doubt your vast resources of inner strength. You can overcome whatever hurdles you have been put in your way. You're amazing. Aww, bless him.
When the chips are down, people forget about keeping up appearances ta-da! And show their true colours in the form of weakness or strength. People are like stained glass windows. They sparkle and shine when the sun is out, but when the darkness sets in, their beauty is revealed only if there is a light within. Keep your light shining. My tent mates are hugging right now.
So, dear Mac, I love you very much. I look forward to seeing you, watching any films and viewing your pictures of the trip and hearing your stories. Enjoy your trip home. So see you soon. My love always, Gail. She's one of the reasons I'm the luckiest guy in the world. It's really, really nice to have this. It's really wonderful. It's a treasure. It's fantastic.
We're trying to set off as early as possible today because it was really hot yesterday, so we want to try and get as many of the miles done before it gets hot. Water's becoming critical, so we want to get a lot of the walking done while it's cold so we don't drink a lot of water, so we don't have to pump all afternoon. So let's go! Let's go!
Everyone is now suffering from the heat. This is by far the toughest part of our journey. My leg is still causing me serious problems.
Sam, the expedition leader, is really suffering with his knees. And he's obviously experienced in leading desert expeditions, so I think that just shows how much of a grueling expedition this is.
Rather than jeopardise the whole expedition, I decide to try and move our pickup point closer.
Hey Gerhard, how are you? I was just wondering if there was any way or we could meet the vehicles sooner rather than later. Well, some of us are in pretty poor shape, and also we're struggling to do the miles through the dunes at the moment. If you don't hear from me, for whatever reason, the old rendezvous point still stands, yeah? Alright, cheers mate, see you later, bye. Well, he's saying just give me a coordinate and he'll come and pick us up, but that's a bit difficult because we don't know where we're going to be.
I'm really enjoying it out here. It's obviously when the water runs out it's a different matter.
As the 4x4 has already set off, we have no choice but to stick to the original pickup point, even though it is further away.
The sun has come out in full force. As soon as the sun comes out, everything seems a bit more of an effort.
The temperatures soar, so we are forced to descend down the 200-metre high dunes to the river. We now need to pump enough water to last us through to the end.
I mean, this morning I think we only managed to do 5 miles and we wanted to do 11 today, so what we've had to do is try and get the RV point moved 5 miles closer, which will hopefully then give us enough time tomorrow to to get to the RV point. To do that, we're pumping as much water as we can at the moment.
To get as much water possible with us now, we've taken the dry bags where we have our sleeping bags to keep them dry, and just now fill them up with a bit of water to just get that extra bit to get us to the rendezvous point tomorrow.
I cannot believe this is our last day's pumping. I think we'll be happy to see the end of these pumps, and definitely grateful when we finally get to turn on the tap.
Everybody appreciates how hard it is in the dunes now, so we can move it a bit closer, a bit easier. Quicker I get my proper cigarettes and a barbecue, and the closer we are to the bar. But in the end, it's pretty hard out here, I must admit.
I'm so glad we don't have to pump anymore. Holy crap.
We wait till late afternoon for the temperature to drop and head one last time into the desert dunes.
That's been the hardest part of the whole trip for me. I've definitely found that the hardest part of the trek. Beautiful sunset, a very tired looking Stu.
Still no word from the HQ about our new pickup point. I try the sat phone again.
New RV point is south 17, 12, east 012, 04, 00. Fucked. Well, I'm on ridiculous amounts of painkillers just to finish this. Yeah. The problem is there's no moon, so we can't walk at night. It's where the moon's setting now. Anyway, look, I better sign off. Sam out.
You can see the end in sight now, and I'll be disappointed when it's finished. I would mind to spend a little bit longer here, seeing exactly what I could do. That's me though. I mean, we've got to work as a team, we've got other people's paces. It's all good. It's all good.
With still no word back from the RV vehicle, I decide that we should press on this morning to the original pickup point.
It's about 5 in the morning and we decided to set off early because we haven't received word from our RV about our new pickup location.
So what we're going to do is we're going to skirt. We're going to keep our altitude because it's easier to walk here, and we're going to keep, parallel to the river. And if we get any confirmation that we can go to that RV, we can just drop down to it. Yeah.
We're working off a bearing about 35 degrees, which is just under Jupiter. So we're just following that line as much as we can, regardless of the ups and downs of the dunes, so that we stay as much on course as possible.
It's really strange to think that the end is nearly here, because I'll be the first to admit that I struggled. I'm really chuffed that my fitness picked up, my knees strengthened up a bit, and I was able to catch up and walk with the rest of the team.
With the temperature hitting the 40s and water now running critically low, I decide we need to make camp and wait for it to get cooler.
After 5 and a bit of hours of walking, absolutely shattered. Basically, we decided to put up the tents, get some bit of shelter for the next few hours of the real heat of the day. It's getting really hot. Hopefully that way will preserve a bit more of the water resources that we've got.
We've got water between us, and people are starting to run low. We'll start to have to share. Nobody's managed to make any contact with Gerhardt at all. That means the original RV still stands.
To conserve strength and water for the next X hours, we have to act like statues. lying still in swirling sand and heat is like torture.
Let's just say today's been a tiny little bit tough. We're really hoping that the guys are just over there.
With the sun rapidly setting, we marched towards the original RV point, hoping that they will be waiting for us. In the pitch black we waited, and nothing arrived. So we shouldered our rucksacks once more and make towards the new RV point some 10 kilometres west of where we stand.
I think the fact that it wasn't there and we said, okay, we've got 6 miles to go, and I thought, well, 6 miles, that's a 10K.
You know, we'd all be really careful with our water, and we weren't sure how far we needed to walk, just to the new RV or to the old one.
When you get to a hill, just put your head down and 1 foot after the other and climb up, and whether it's easy or hard, it didn't really make any difference.
It was very exciting for me. It was what I was looking for in the whole trip. That whole day epitomised what I needed from the trip.
I decided at 15 minutes I was allowed a proper mouthful of water every 15 minutes and not in between. At which point I would then guzzle the whole mouthful, but I'd hold it in my mouth and then really slowly swallow it.
It was one of those challenges, I think, that is important for all of us to go through, to see how do you react when you come to these difficult situations.
It might be a walk in hell, but it was one of those character building moments in your life, and I think a lot of people will take a lot from it.
With only 3 kilometres left to go, we hear the unmistakable rumble of an engine.
Hey guys! Well done. By the time we saw the lights of the truck coming over the horizon, over the hill, people were on the literally last drop of water.
And the realisation that we weren't going to have to walk any further was outstanding.
I'll stay at night. That's it. We made it.
Oh my God. What did you say? How are you feeling, Kat?
I've never been so happy to see a Land Rover in my life. I'm so happy.
The excitement on people's faces was something to behold. When you saw that light come over, it was just like, hallelujah. It was a special moment.
For me, it was a mixture of emotions, joy, relief and happiness that we'd made it in the nick of time.
I'm a natural cameraman.
There we go, stop.
Go on then, tell us what you think about the journey.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done physically in my life, and when I saw the car coming, just when we got here, I actually got tears running down my face. I got emotional, which I was really surprised at.
Water!
Yeah, that was just amazing.
Our time on the Skeleton Coast has come to an end. What a journey it's been. Friendships were formed, blisters were broken, and a world first was achieved.
Looking back through this expedition, absolutely just blown away by the whole experience. There's so many high points. Thoroughly enjoyed every single part of it, even the tough times.
Wow, well, what an experience. It's just been amazing. I mean, I've been positive all the way through. I never once felt like, what am I doing here? Yeah, I loved every minute of it. Woohoo!
Yeah, it was a great experience and a great team, and yeah, I'd definitely do it again.
As many of the people on the expedition know, I'm a bit of a black and white person, and I'm getting better at understanding other people through expeditions. The weaknesses and the strengths, and my own too. I walk away knowing I've done something that not many people can achieve.
Enjoyed every minute of it, even the pain and the suffering and the thirst and so forth. It's been just an incredible experience. And for me, it shows that if you put a group of people together with the right leadership and the right attitude, you can accomplish just about anything you really want to.
Our footsteps across the black gravel plains will still be there after we are long gone.